first of all, professionalism. All right. How about Isabel? Let's come up with some words to define a profession.
A professional.
Or professional,
Yes.
but yeah. Organisation,
Yeah.
definitely.
Presentation. Sorry, first time.
Presentation, yes. So let's think of non-professionals and professionals. So non-professional jobs are often like spot jobs. They might be an in-between job. Someone doing their paper run. It's something that they'll pick up for a short while and then maybe drop it. In other words, it's not a vocation. It's not a committed path. Or working as a barista, they might be doing it as a second job whilst they're studying. It might, mind you now, baristas are becoming very professional. Or a barmaid or a bar person. On the other hand, let's name a few professions. So, Justine, can you name a profession? A well-known profession.
Like a doctor.
Yes, a doctor. So someone studies like 5 to 10 years. Okay. How about one more on this side? One other profession?
Psychologist.
Psychologist. I like that one. My mum's a psychologist. Okay. So that's a very good one example, and we're going to come back to that one actually. And maybe one more. A
Lawyer.
lawyer. Yeah.
That's coming.
Okay. All of the above, so a psychologist, a doctor, a lawyer, by law or by the code of practice that they have to adhere to keep their profession, they have to continually do what we call professional development, continual professional development, or CPD. Teachers also, once you become a registered like teacher, you have to conduct a number of hours continual professional development. So CDP is one of the main features of people who are professions. We might just go to the next one. Okay, now we're going to look at traits. Oh, maybe we'll hop another one as well. We're going to look at traits of a professional. We had someone say organisation. Isabel, that's a good one. What's another trait of a professional?
Well-groomed.
Well-groomed, yes.
Groomed.
Groomed. Sure. You make me laugh. You're right. So, not grooming. Yeah, groomed.
Just
Yeah.
like you look good, you present well, you're
Yes.
wearing a nice attire type thing.
Yeah, a profession.
Good posture. good
You're right.
attire.
So let's maybe if we relate it to teaching. So maybe if you work as a bar person, you could get away with maybe spaghetti straps. But a teacher sort of is expected to be conservative. So it doesn't mean it has to be formal all the time, but you know, you're sort of being considerate that you're exposing kids to you. And so, yeah, that's how we can tie presentation to professionalism. How about, what's another trait of a profession?
Flexibility, for instance, because when you're working with children and you're around a whole lot of different people, you need to be flexible to cater to different people's needs and different people's teaching styles and learning styles, and working with the children towards a goal rather than just instructing them.
Very good. So whether teaching becomes your long-term profession or if you enter a workplace anywhere else where you're a professional, you're expected to be adaptable. As a professional, you're expected to tailor a product also to your client or customer. So it's the complete opposite of the McDonald's work where it's like a conveyor belt. As a professional, when a mother is approaching a professional service, whether it's the physio, whether it's her psychologist, she doesn't want to walk into the psychologist and just get a blueprint, photocopy service. Professional services tend to be tailored. That's a very good point. Adaptable and tailored. I'm just going to run through what are on the slides. Consistency. So a professional service will will have less sort of up and down quality. It'll be a more sustainable, you'll offer consistency. Punctuality, just a basic thing. But the biggest one here is actually integrity. And that ties in most professional or professions. Once you qualify, you're expected to adhere to a code of conduct. That means a few things. And I have found the youth of Australia need to be educated in this a lot more. It used to be something that parents would hand down. Fraud. If you're in a profession and you commit fraud, it's so not worth it. It can just, you lose your license, for instance. So maybe if you worked for a cafe, you could slightly overstate your hours. But a client in a professional setting is going to note that, and you can get in a lot of trouble. So overstating hours or being dishonest about the work delivered, the professions don't have room for that, unfortunately. So you're expected to have integrity and ethics and be saying, I hold myself accountable for the quality that's delivered here. I'll just tell a quick story. When I was 19 and I was at university, I was working in a call centre. And there was an 18-year-old in my team in the call centre. And he was a lovely boy. He was so lovely. And we were selling life insurance. So we had people's credit card details. The manager put pressure on us to meet targets. And he wanted to impress the manager. We all wanted to impress the manager though. There was at least 10 of us there. And sometimes we didn't meet our targets. But this 19-year-old, what he was doing was he was pretending to be on the phone and actually just putting through life insurance policies. He was pretending to say, oh yes, so you want it, so because all the calls were recorded. And he was just, what that meant was that people who were in connection with Westpac accounts were getting direct debited. He was only 19. Do you think he got a warning?
Bye.
It was worse. They didn't, criminal record. They didn't even, he was known on a personal level, but the manager, it was out of his hands. The bigger corporation said, no, we want to sue for damages. We need to have criminal proceedings, start the process of suing. So why? At 19, you've got your whole career ahead of you. It's not worth doing the dishonest thing. If you feel pressure, communicate it to your manager and they can give you ways to get around it, but don't do something fraudulent because it's not worth it to you, because the system will then just take over you and do what they want with you. Okay, so some pro bono work is also another big feature. I know a lawyer who says 10% of all his work is pro bono. Pro bono means it's free work. So it's known in the professional world that you'll do a certain degree of pro bono work, whether accountant, teacher,